Okay, American Idol fans, the top 8 has been declared on season 17. I'm here with Susan Wloszczyna and Denton Davidson. I'm Marcus James Dixon. So we're going to talk about the eliminations of Uche and Dimitrius. Susan, I'm going to come to you first. These were kind of expected, right? No big shockers here.
Yeah, I mean, they were saved, but I don't think either one of them appreciably stepped up their game. And in fact, if you looked at Demetrius, like just with Bobby Bones, whatever that waiting area is, he looked miserable.
I know.
And even when he started singing, he had no smile. He had no, I don't know what he was thinking, because, you know, when you perform, you need to assume a emotion that is pleasant for people. I would think, you know? And he just looked not happy. And Uche is like, whatever, you know, it's like, now you think he picked that song. I don't know if they got choices. We don't know what machinations happened behind.
So you're talking about the Goofy movie song. Yeah. First of all, I had never heard of it. Had you guys heard of this Goofy movie song?
No, just because I actually had to write something about it once when it first came out. It was a big deal to Disney because they were reviving Goofy, you know, in the movie. So
so he's in there. He's in the mentor session with Rebel. She had never heard it, and then the judges give their little critiques. Each one of them says they'd never heard the song, and his reaction is just like, oh, "How could you never hear of it? It's such a good song." But I don't know. I think he made a huge mistake. Denton, what about you?
Well, but again, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, what strings are pulled, and why certain people got certain songs. You know? So I don't know if it was their choice. I can't believe somebody, even Uche, would pick that song. There is no reason. And even the title is so stupid because it's eye to eye, and it's like, you know, what? It's not even written. It's written out like, you know, some acronym or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'd never heard the song before. And I don't know if there's progress as the show goes on, but I felt like even despite what I thought was a poor song choice, I think the band really drowned him out more than anyone else. So I don't know if they made a noise alteration at that point, but I felt like I couldn't hear him very well compared to some of the other singers. So even beyond the poor song choice, it was hard to listen to. I wasn't surprised that both of them went home. And I agree, Dimitrius just has not been able to connect with people for whatever reason.
And the fact that they were both saved a couple weeks ago, that it wasn't surprising to see them go home. And Alyssa, I love Alyssa. I think she may go home next week too, because she was one of the ones that were saved as well.
Yeah.
Do you guys miss the old results show? Because, you know, it used to be where when the judges' save wasn't in place, you know, Ryan would announce who had the lowest votes, and then that person would sing for their lives, and you would see the judges kind of, you know, whispering to each other in the background, and then sometimes they would just interrupt the song and say, you know, we're saving this person, there's no question. And it added drama and it added emotion. And now, Susan, you brought up the point, like, Lionel had like 1 second to say, we're not using it, and then the show's gone. It's over.
It's like they were afraid that they would break down crying of two guys, and that would be the last image of the show. I don't know.
Yeah, I liked it when they would sing at the end. I think also, I mean, it was kind of a double-edged sword. I think there could have been moments where people were saved that maybe shouldn't have, because there was so much emotion in it. But they have to, I mean, when you look down the line, who's left to save one of these two when, you know, someone that could actually win could go home next week with a bad song choice. I mean, they made the right call for sure.
Yeah, I am worried that, you know, they may waste the save on someone that maybe doesn't deserve it, and then the next week someone really, really good will go home and they won't have it anymore. But I guess we'll just have to see. And at Gold Derby now you can predict whether you think the judges will use the save, in addition to who you think will win, who you think will go home.
I agree. I think there's 6 really good ones left. So if America gets it right and the 2 go home this week, I hope they don't waste the save, because I think it's a clear top 6.
Well, next week is Queen Week, right, Susan? And which 2 do you think will be the lowest vote getters for Queen Week?
What is Wade going to sound that Queen song? Although he picked a good one, I think, for his voice this time, because it's a Randy Newman song, and it's
that was a great performance.
Yeah. Well, Denton said otherwise because he doesn't move much, but he's a bit. But I thought for all the songs he could have chosen from the Disease songbook, that was clearly one that was meant for him. But who would be good? I mean, I can't think Lacey's her voice, I don't think is Queenie. And who else? I mean, who knows what Wade's going to do, but I think, Madison could go well with it.
You think she's going to win, I thought.
I do. I don't think she's going to go. I think she would do good with a Queen song.
Oh, right.
She has that range. You have to have range. So I don't know what Lane's going to do.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem too glam rock to me, even his suits.
Lane is a front runner to win, but why would he pick that Oodalali song from
They
Rob?
said it was his father's favorite, his sister, whoever that was.
Yeah, but that, I mean, you can't get more silly than that. I just had a lot of issues with some
Okay, Oodalali is like the goofy song in that movie. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know the songs from Robin Hood very well. I know one, that I don't know the title, but I know how it sounds. But this one, it's not one I recall.
Yeah, I think it kind of pulled in his old country fans back in. I don't think it was a terrible song choice for him. I think with Queen, I think Alyssa, I think she's gonna struggle. I think voices like Lacey and Alejandro don't fit the genre, but I think they'll just change the arrangement to make it work for them. And I think Alyssa, based on what she's done already, will try to keep to the original format, and it won't work. And then I'm gonna just guess that Wade will probably be the next on the cutting block. But
that's who I was picking. I was gonna pick Alyssa and Wade, and I'm worried that the judges will save Wade, and then the next week, somebody like Alejandro or Jeremiah or Madison will be in the bottom, and they'll have to go home because the save's not there anymore.
And then Walker. He's so sweet. He's so not Queen.
Walker's a showman, though. Walker's coming up.
A Queen song. That's what it's going to be.
I think Walker's coming up. Like, he could do some damage because he's so likable. I think he's kind of always on the rise, whereas some kind of have stayed steady or gone down. I feel like he's been consistently moving up.
Well, I think this week my favorites were Walker and Madison. I mean, they're the ones that gave me a full, satisfying performance without over the topping, everything. They were very more, confident in what they were doing than the rest of them.
Yeah.
And Lionel's already compared Jeremiah to Freddie Mercury, so Jeremiah has some pressure on him.
That was ridiculous.
Walker is so quirky, but quirky in a good way, whereas Eddie Island was quirky kind of in a bad way. So I'm glad Walker's still in it. I don't know if he can win, though, but I think he'll be safe at least another week. He may be like a top 5 finisher.
Yeah. I just wish I knew what demographics are voting for who, because he and Lane, I think, get the young girl votes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know who votes for Wade, but people just kind of like him. So
And in terms of who's going to win, it really depends on if it's a final 2 or a final 3. Because Denton, you had this great theory about why Maddie won last year, because it was a final 3 and she was up against 2 country singers. So if you're a voter at home and you love country, which one do you vote for? They kind of split the vote. And this year, I could see someone like Madison winning if she's up against two of the strong guys that may cancel the vote. So I like your theory, Susan, that Madison can win. I could totally see that happening.
No, she is the best singer. I mean, if you're just judging by that, and she is 17, but she's like fully confident in herself. And that's why it's easier to watch her perform, because she doesn't have to try that hard. And what I love is, I'm sitting there hearing the song from Moana, and I go, oh my God, somebody did a bad version earlier. And like it was that Myra Tron, and that was her, when she hit the high note, it was like the worst thing in the world. It was just like a train wreck, or as I said, a Tron wreck. but when Madison sang it, it was like the best moment of the song, as it should be. So I'm like, oh my God, she saved that song from idle madness or whatever, because the other version just was awful. And the fact that she had the guts to do one that somebody went out on shows she has that kind of confidence in knowing what she can do.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since the best singer won. I don't think that always happens. I have Lane winning right now because I think he just pulls in the most diverse demographic. I think you're right about young girls. I think fans of rock might like Lane. I think fans of country might like Lane, and I feel like he's sort of the safest encapsulation of all of those things that it sort of takes to win. It's who can get the plurality of American voters, and I feel like he has the best shot at that right now. I think Alejandro, who was the favorite, Remember Me, I got a lot of hate for like hating on that performance, but Alejandro singing Remember Me, as soon as you see the guitar, I was thinking this has to be one of the best performances ever on American Idol as soon as I saw what was about to happen. And it wasn't. Like, the arrangement was ruined. His voice was too high. I mean, he should have had a guitar solo in there. It was the perfect moment for which should have been this legendary Idol performance. And for me, it totally fell flat.
Looking at the Gold Derby odds, Lane is predicted to win at this stage. And then Madison's in second, Alejandro third, Jeremiah is in fourth, Lacey's in fifth, Walker in sixth, and then Wade and Alyssa at the bottom of the pack.
Well, that's what's going to happen. It sounds like.
Yeah. Well, any final thoughts here?
Well,
Adam Lambert's coming back, right?
You didn't ask your question whether we think this is the best group of singers ever, or best show, or whatever, best season, whatever you wanted to know.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. A lot of people are saying that this final 8 is the strongest final 8 ever. I think they could be right. I mean, what do you guys think?
No, I don't think so. I think the singing is not as high as it's been in the past. My favorite season I remember was when the divas were all there, and it was Fantasia, LaToya London, and Jennifer Hudson, and those three were just going at it week to week. That, to me, was my favorite season.
Which one was the season with Haley? Was that Scotty McCreery?
Yeah, I liked that season too.
I like that one.
That was a good one. That's actually what I just wrote about, because Casey Abrams got the save that season. Remember, he was like hyperventilating and he almost fainted.
I saw that name. I can't conjure his face, so he didn't do it.
He had a full beard, and he had a lot of hospitalization problems during the show too.
He played like the bass, like cello or something too. Yeah. It was a little different.
I've erased him from my mind. Poor guy.
Well, Adam Lambert's coming back next week for Queen Week, so that'll be exciting. It's the 10-year anniversary of when he sang when he was on the show and he sang that Mad World song that was in the top 8 10 years ago. So now I wonder if they're going to reference that at all.
I'm sure, but because as I learned, that was the only time Simon gave a standing ovation to, because they didn't have, it ran over for some reason and they didn't have time for, judging him. So he just stood up and clapped because it was like the best song ever.
It was.
Yeah. And Adam Lambert is another perfect example of why I don't think this is the best season ever. I don't think anyone can sing as well as Adam Lambert. So, I mean, it's a very good season consistently across the board, in that usually in most seasons, there's a few people that are awful. I think everyone this season is very talented. So I think it's just that everyone is good. That's the difference, I think, this year.
Yeah. There's a really strong top 6 this year. And once it gets past this week, I think I'm going to be really upset no matter who goes home.
Yeah. But I have to say, this is such a Disney commercial, okay? I mean, everything from lightsabers to whatever, I don't know. It was just like way too much Disney, and it just, I know Fox used to, push their, Ice Age things or whatever, but not to this extent. It's just so obnoxious sometimes that
Did you like Ursula, the Ursula costume?
Yeah, it's like whatever. That's for her benefit. That's more fun for her to do than us watching, because she's having, And then with the rotten seafood, that was pleasant too. With Ryan kept saying, "It's been here since 9:30 in the morning." Well, okay, well, call the ambulance. No, her little kinks that she gets into, I don't know. But I guess it's fun for people. I don't know. I think it's more fun for the judges than us, but we'll see. But no, it'll be interesting with Ann Lambert. I think hopefully they'll live up to my dreams. Or
is he just performing, or is he like their advisor, like Rebel Wilson?
Advisor. He's
that's good. That's a good advisor.
How to beat Freddie Mercury.
He is going to perform as well, and I don't know if he's performing with the band Queen or just himself. So that'll be exciting to see.
But the second half of the show is movie duets, and I'm like, there's 3 women. Who are guys going to sing together? I don't know how they're going to do that, right? I mean, I would think movie duets would imply, 2, a man and a woman, but I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Way to sing with Alejandro. I don't know. That'll be something different.
Well, everyone go and make your American Idol predictions at Gold Derby for who you think will win and who's going to go home. And whoever gets the highest score will get a $100 Amazon gift certificate. So go and make your predictions right now. Thank you.